Hi. Okay. Yeah. So I'm.
That's
Jimmy
right.
McArthur.
Give it up for Jimmy McArthur, everybody. Woo!
Thank you, and thank you to Dr. Paley for the introduction, and thank you to Indiana University. I am Jimmy McArthur with the OpenInfra Foundation. I do business development for the OpenInfra Foundation, which doesn't really mean probably what you're used to, but mostly I talk to companies all over the world about what we're doing in OpenInfra. There we go. And if you're not familiar with the OpenInfra Foundation, we build open source software for infrastructure. So some of our projects, not limited to Kata Containers, OpenStack, StarlingX, and Zool. These are the tools that we use to build infrastructure software with a, oh God, I've turned it all off. All right, click. There we go. No, it's the wrong way. What's happening? There we go. Okay, with a huge community of over 110,000 people in almost every country in the world. These users and developers and ecosystem make up what we call the three forces that create healthy open source communities. And it's good that we have this gigantic community because the open source market is now worth $8.8 trillion. And what we're seeing with this is that this market also expands to, did I miss one? No. Oh my God. OpenStack, right? OpenStack is having kind of a moment right now. OpenStack is already a massive $22 billion market. We're expecting that to increase by 30% every year for the next 7 years to over $90 billion market. And OpenStack is how you run open source infrastructure. And what I want to talk to you about today is the next generation of infrastructure, how OpenStack and Kubernetes, or excuse me, OpenStack and Kata Containers in particular are helping to drive that growth. And I want to talk to you about some of the trends we're seeing in the market, and there are 4 of them. The first one is digital sovereignty. If you're familiar with digital sovereignty, a lot of people think that, oh, maybe this is something that's happening only in the EU, but it's not. It's happening all over the world. It's happening in Latin America. It's happening in Asia. And in fact, France's largest banks all run on OpenStack because they need to ensure that their data is safe and secure and stays in France. And from a public cloud perspective, we have seen OpenStack proliferate with over 300 data centers across the world. People are looking for open source solutions to house their data and to run their cloud compute. And as another example, Lidl is a spinoff of the retailer, is a retailer that's a spinoff from the Schwartz Group. And Lidl has a massive public cloud, right? They're using it for actually private cloud and public cloud, but it was so popular and the service was so uniquely tailored to keep their data in Austria and in Germany that they ended up spinning it out to its own public cloud to compete with Amazon and Google. And that is running on OpenStack. And so these OpenStack clouds and these decisions that are being made at this level have ripple effects. It's beyond just the EU and it's beyond just countries that have data sovereignty policies. It goes back to affect companies here in the US that don't seem to care too much about data sovereignty. And the second one is licensing changes. I'm sure you have all seen the news and heard. Does anybody here not know about VMware and Broadcom? Okay. You're the only one. All right, so yes, there's been a little bit of a kerfluffle, you know, and it's not just VMware, it's beyond that. It's also, we've seen it happen this year with Terraform, with OpenSearch. I don't know if anybody's paying attention to the WordPress situation, but that's a little interesting. But people are afraid of getting locked into this situation of single vendor software, and they're looking for alternatives. And those alternatives are with OpenStack. And in fact, over 80% of our members have already had inquiries about moving workloads from VMware to OpenStack, and 60% of them have already helped people migrate from VMware to OpenStack. Now, this survey was actually taken 4 months ago, so I would imagine those numbers have increased a bit. Additionally, Geico, the second largest insurance company in the US, they're running on OpenStack. They're moving everything off of VMware. So it's a bit of a moment for OpenStack, and I think for the market. The third thing we're seeing is security concerns. Everybody's running containers, right? People are running containers on OpenStack, people are running Kubernetes, but those containers are by and large unsecure. 87% of container images in production are insecure. And so we have a solution for that. It's Kata Containers. Kata Containers is basically a lightweight virtual machine. It's a security runtime that gives you the speed of containers with the security of virtual machines. And everybody's using it. AWS is using it, Azure's using it, and NVIDIA, all those GPUs. And then the fourth thing is AI. Everybody's talking about AI. And speaking of NVIDIA, AI is redefining infrastructure. And your cloud strategy is now your AI strategy. And anybody that is paying attention to AI knows that you need more data centers to run your AI. In fact, Jensen Huang from NVIDIA has predicted that we're going to need to double to $2 trillion the amount of data centers we have in the world. And all of those data centers are going to be accelerated. So your GPUs come in there. And in fact, we're seeing that trend happen right now. In 2023, we've had, since 2019, a massive increase in the number of data centers in the world. And over the last 3 years, we've had more data created than in all the history of computing before that. Oh, God, I'm really bad at this. And OpenStack is made to handle AI workloads. It's already working. Dawn, the second or the largest supercomputer in the UK, and I think somebody here at SAC HPC helped build it. That's running on OpenStack, and Hyundai has connected tens of millions of cars on thousands of nodes of compute, all running on OpenStack and all running AI workloads. So those are the trends we're seeing. And this is how we believe open source can take advantage of this $1 trillion infrastructure. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I will be floating around, and I'd love to talk to you. Thank you very much.